Take a stand, take a stand. Everybody, come take one, come take one. Won't be something together.
Your progress lives where your greatest fears lie. The things that terrify you, walk towards those. And the more you do it, the more you build confidence. The more you actually stand in the fire of your greatest fears, the more you actually find freedom. You need to start thinking and behaving like a game changer. And that means populating your mindset with the best books, with the best ideas, with the best conversations, behaving in ways that most people don't behave. Again, you want to have the results very few people have. You've got to start doing things that very few people do. Turn off the television. Delete the naysayers. Stop gossiping and start producing.
You become a creator when you write down goals and you get clear as to absolutely why you make them happen. Don't stop and go, how do I do it? That's not the first step. First step is get it down.
As you leave the herd and the crowd and perhaps the cult of mediocrity and rise to being a game changer, it's a very disruptive act. And you actually threaten the masses of people around you. And that's why every visionary was first ridiculed before they were revered. And I'm sure you've experienced it. You say, you know, I want to take my fitness to a whole new level of world class, or I want to take my craft to a whole new level of world class, or maybe you're raising your game financially, and then you share it with those you love or your friends, and they laugh at you. And how many times have we given up on a dream because we were mocked by the people around you? And all I'm suggesting to you is when you get laughed at, ridiculed, and where people don't understand your next level of world class, that just means you've got a great dream, and that just means you're on the path of growth. So be a game changer. Get in the game, because when you get to the last hour of your last day, it will not be the failures you regret, it'll be all the risks you didn't take.
The most common question that I've been asking people from all walks of life, trying to pursue all different types of things, an idea that's been sitting and hanging and creeping in the back corners of their mind. The most common question is, am I ready? You know, am I ready? How do I know that I'm ready? How do I know that now's the time? How do I know that now is the time for me to make that jump, to take that leap, to make the move? How do I know if I'm ready? Am I ready? And every single time, no matter who asks me that question, no matter where we are, I give you the same exact answer. That is no. No, you're not ready. No, you're not ready. No, you're not ready. No, you'll never be ready. All right? You'll never be ready for the amount of work that you're going to have to do. You're never going to be ready for the amount of focus that you're going to have to commit to. You're never going to be ready for how much you're going to have to walk away from before you get to where you're going to have to go. You'll never be ready to lose more than you win. You'll never be ready for all the people who will doubt you and hate on you and leave you. You'll never be ready for the sacrifice and struggle and suffering before you succeed. Stop asking yourself if you're ready, because you're not. And start asking yourself if you're willing. Are you willing? Are you willing to put in the work? Right? Are you willing to live in the dirt? Are you willing to give up everything that you once thought was important to go after that one thing that you truly love? Are you willing to be doubted? Are you willing to be cast aside? Are you willing for people to walk away from you? Are you willing to leave the people that hold you back? Are you willing to live simple and light and focused and free? Are you willing to take on every challenge that comes your way? Are you willing to box every obstacle that comes face to face? Are you willing to pick yourself up when you're too tired to move? Are you willing to keep going no matter what hits you? If you are willing to take on whatever comes, to fight through whatever faces you, then go for it.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. If you can hear me, please type in yes. Good morning. Good morning. If you can hear me, please type in yes.
Good morning.
Just type in yes. Let me have your yes, please. Good morning. If you can hear me, just type in your yes. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to Plan Your Trade Your Plan currency review for the 6th of March 2019. And before we start, I'd like you all to go through this disclaimer. Below is my Telegram handle. If you would need any further information, please reach across to me using this Telegram handle. So, without much ado, let's start with what we have today. Today being Wednesday, overnight we had Aussie GDP, that's gross domestic product news release. And I cautioned about this yesterday. I said, as you can see, the result was less than the market expected, and as a result, the Aussie was sold off. Today, by 2:15, we have ADP non-farm employment change. Then we have card news by 2:30, that's trade balance news. Then these two by 4 p.m. you need to be very cautious about them. These are fireworks inducing news releases by 4 p.m. These are rate news. You'll be well advised to watch out for these by 4 p.m. So, having done that, having said that, we go over to our chart. So what do we have on our chart for today? As always, we start with the dollar index. And looking at the dollar index is still gaining some strength, as can be seen. But it is approaching this falling trend line here. So if I go into my intraday chart, what do we expect? Well, having broke above this previous resistance here, that's 96.81, the dollar index might use it as a probable base support to move higher towards 97.09. Should this level here at 96.81 give way, then the dollar index may be coming down to 96.64. And should 96.64 give way on the dollar index, then we might be seeing dollar weakness across board. Next pair we'll be looking at is gold. Looking at gold from a daily point of view, gold has broken this trend line and right now seems to be it's clearly in a downtrend. But looking at it from a daily point of view, I think I have a midpoint here. Yep, I have a midpoint here. Looking at it from the 4-hour, gold seems to be correcting, and it's because it's in a downtrend. When a currency pair is in a downtrend, you'll be looking for rallies to sell from. You'll be looking for resistance points to sell from because it's clearly in a downtrend. And the first level comes in at 1297, while the second level comes in at 1306. So these are points you need to keep or watch out for. If you go over to your daily point of view from a daily bias, price may likely do two things. There is structure here, and there is structure here. So either of these two levels, price may come in to test them. That is 1294, 1305, and that is what you have here. That's what you have around this area. So price may come into any of these areas. Let me readjust this, work on this a little bit, bring it down here. A little bit here. Oh, It should be okay. So any of these levels might offer a good selling opportunity on gold to the downside continuation. So what you'll be expecting is something like this, either a match up to this level and a drop, or a match up to this area and a drop. That's for gold. Next what we're looking at is the USD CHF. Looking at the USD CHF, the USD CHF is clearly bullish from all points of view, as you can see on the daily. This was the daily move of yesterday, which has momentum, which points to probable further move to the upside on this pair. So, move down to our intraday chart. And if we move down to our intraday chart, we can find out that the USD CHF is trying to break this resistance at 1.0052. A move above this level will send it higher. So what do you expect on this pair? You expect something like this, a retest and a move higher. But should it fail at this level, then it may come down into this area, then either move higher or get rejected from this area down. So these are the two likely scenarios. But for now, the USD CHF is clearly bullish. So you'll be looking for dips to buy. But that doesn't mean you can't sell. But if you're selling, be well aware that you're counter trending. So you need to be very careful with that. The next one we'll be looking at is the Euro USD. And as you can see, Euro USD is clearly in a downtrend. It's clearly in a downtrend, as you can see from the close of yesterday. So going into our intraday chart, what is our likely game plan? For now, the Euro USD is sitting above the support level. So since it's in a downtrend, you'll be looking for plausible areas of resistance to sell from. That is what you'll be looking for. You'll be looking for plausible areas of resistance to sell from. So the first one comes in at 1.1325, while the second one comes in at 1.1344. But a break below this support level here might send price down to 1.1252. So these are the levels to watch out for on this pair. The next pair we'll be looking at is the US GBP USD, and the GBP USD was a kind of a funny pair yesterday. It was just up and about everywhere. So looking at it from a daily point of view, it has what looks like a long doji or a long ham wick of some sort. It closed with a long lower wick, which is definitely bullish. But this is the concern. This trend line has been broken to the downside. This resistance trend line, price broke above it. But upon a retest, price is not supposed to come back down below the trend line. So being below this trend line might mean that this break is a false break. So knowing that, what do we do? With this GBP USD, you just have to be a bit cautious. It can be very, very fluid. So you need to know what you're doing. As we can see, this is your support area. The support area is between 1.33110 to 1.3087. This is support base. As you can see yesterday, price dropped down and from there moved back up. Your resistance, first level of resistance comes in at 1.3193. The second one comes in at 31.3247. So what might you likely see? You might see a scenario like this. Price may come down into this area and move up. But should this area get broken, you wait for a retest and a move lower in this direction. So these are the plausible moves on this pair. For now, price is seeming to approach this support area. For now, it seems cautiously bearish, cautiously to the downside. So you need to be careful on this pair. Next pair we'll be looking at is Euro GBP. Euro GBP there seems to be a rising channel here. Seems to be a rising channel. Looking at it from the daily point of view, It closed bearish yesterday with a long upper wick from this area, this zone here. That is 0.8618 to 0.8655. For the Euro GBP to become fully bullish, price needs to close above this zone. So knowing that, we go down to our intraday chart. And when we move down to our intraday chart, let me get rid of this level here. So as you can see, price ran into that level. This is a railway bearish reversal pattern on the 4-hour. But for now, price seems to have found support from this trend line and is moving back up into this resistance zone. It moved above this resistance zone. So what is the likely game plan on this pair? The likely game plan on this pair is to watch price action inside this area. This is an area where you need to watch price action inside. You need to watch price action inside this area. You need to watch price action inside this area. So you'll be waiting for price to come into this area and move back down. Or price may drop down to this place. If this place holds our support, price may go up, or price may break, retest, and drop down lower. So that is it for this pair. The next pair we'll be looking at is AUD-USD. So looking at the AUD-USD from a daily point of view, and see the negative gross domestic product news was not favorable to the Aussie dollar, and that led to the sell-off. So right now, what do we have on this pair? For now, this pair is slightly bullish and bearish. I mean, we have a trend line connecting these 2 points, and price is carefully approaching that side. So, and below it there's a support. There's a support level. So what are we looking at here? Since this pair is clearly bearish, you'll be looking for a bounce here into this area. Once you get a rejection, then you look to sell lower on this pair. That's the game plan for this pair. But should it break below here, you'll be expecting something like this to take it down further. That's the plausible game plan for this pair. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the USD-JPY. USD-JPY is bullish, but for now, it's below this trend line on the daily, but clearly above. There's a structure here, clearly sitting above the structure here. For now, this pair is bullish. Now this pair is bullish. What you might be looking for is opportunities to go long as the support levels hold. As you can see, there's a support level here at 11169. That level seems to be holding, but price rejected from this trend line and this resistance level here. So now, what's the game plan? Should this level of support hold, as if price comes down here and this level of support hold, you may see a move up. But should this level here hold as resistance, then if price comes down, it might break this level and come down towards this area. So for now, this is the plausible game plan on this pair. But be well aware that this pair is still in an uptrend. It's still clearly bullish. The next one we'll be looking at is the Euro Yen. Looking at the Euro Yen from a daily point of view, price seems to be in a downtrend. After this dark cloud formation here, dark cloud slash bearish engulfing, price has been losing a bit of strength. So we go into our intraday chart. We can see this support level is holding and price is just slightly below this support trend line. So since knowing that this pair is still in a downtrend, what you'll be looking for is resistance opportunities to sell this pair. So for now, I go down to the 1 hour chart. The best thing is just to wait for a rally on this pair. If you get a rally, then you can engineer a short position. But for now, this pair is still bearish. So you'll be looking for rallies to sell from. Next, we'll be looking at is the GBP pound yen. Looking at the pound yen, this daily trend line from here to this point was broken to the upside. So what price might be doing now, as long as it stays above here, might be a retest of this level. Price might just be doing a retest of this level to continue higher. So knowing that, we go down to our intraday chart. As you can see, that level is playing out as support. So this is our first level of support. As long as price stays above here, there is a potential for it to move a bit higher. But for now, there is a weakness in the uptrend. There is a weakness in the uptrend. So if this level forms as support, you might be looking at a move higher from this area. But if that area fails, then price may drop lower. So you'll be expecting something like this, retest and a drop to this area. So that's the game plan for this pair. The next pair we'll be looking at is the GBP CHF. Looking at the GBP CHF from the daily point of view, so if we look at it from a daily point of view, it's clearly bullish. This trend line here was broken to the upside. Price yesterday tested this previous high now, which was resistance, but now acted as support yesterday. So knowing that, we go down to our intraday chart. So we drop down to our 4 hour chart. As you can see, price is reacting from this falling trend line. So knowing where our support levels are on this pair, we might be looking for this level here to hold as support. Should this level here hold as support, then there is a potential that price may slightly move higher. But as you can see, this pair is clearly in an uptrend. So trying to short it, you need to be very careful, as there is a trend line here. Trend line is running all the way from this point to this point, and it may come in as support near this area. Although there is a secondary one from this point to this point. Let me try from this point to this point. As you can see, should this level hold, this first T line hold, price may still move higher. Long as price stays above this level, this first support trend line, price has the potential to still move up. The next pair we'll be looking at is Euro AUD. And the Euro AUD yesterday it closed. If you look at the move of yesterday, closed yesterday with a long upper wick, but still a little bit bullish. But this seems like a correction. But the weak Aussie GDP, gross domestic product news led to this rally now. So knowing this, we go down to our intraday chart. As you can see, price is at this trend line and this resistance level here. Price is at this trend line and this resistance level here. So what is the game plan? Go down to our 4-hour chart. Should this level here hold, this current level here hold as resistance, you might, and with bearish price action, you may take a cautious short position from this area down to this area. As you can see, that area rejected price here. So, and the price is currently struggling at that area, but you need to be very, very careful. For now, price is clearly bullish. So you need to be very careful when you're taking this short position down to this level here. So the first resistance comes in at 1.6061. First support comes in at 1.5987. Second support comes in at 1.5943. These are levels you need to pay attention to. The next one we'll be looking at is the GBP AUD. Looking at the GBP AUD from the daily point of view, closed as an indecision candle yesterday, but it's above this resistance here from this point. So knowing that, we go down to our intraday chart, drop down to our 4-hour. As we can see, price seems to be in a sort of a downward sloping channel on this pair, and that resistance level is still serving as a resistance. So as long as price stays below here and you get a bearish evidence, you may open a short position down. But as long as price, because this level, a break above this structure level might be very, very weak. So for now, you just need to watch and see what the market does around this area before you decide on your next line of action. The next pair we'll be looking at is the USD CAD. The USD CAD is clearly bullish. If you take a short position on this pair, be very, very careful. Be very careful as an intraday. You need to be a bit cautious when taking a short position on this pair. As you can see, there is an inverse head and shoulder pattern. The neckline has been broken to the upside. What might price do? Price may come back to retest this level. That might give you a short-term, a cautious sell position if you might want to take it, but you just need to be very careful as the neckline for this inverse head and shoulders of the daily has been broken to the upside, which might mean further bullish move. But given the Bank of Canada's rate news coming up at 4, anything can happen. But be well aware, this pair has a bullish bias for now. So knowing that, we go down into our intraday chart. So on our intraday chart, I've marked out the plausible support area to take a long position should this area hold. So price may drop into this area, and should it hold as a support area, then you might open a long position, maybe probably above this 33.75 to 1.3436 as the case may be. So next pair I'll be looking at is the GBP CAD. The GBP CAD is still clearly bullish, although it is having a challenge at this trend line. A move above this trend line would firmly confirm the bullish drive, but for now, it is experiencing a bit of a pullback. So you need to be very, very careful at this area on this pair. So that ends my plan your trade your plan review for today. being the 6th of March 2019. Once again, this is my Telegram handle down here. If you have any questions, please reach across to me. I wish you all a beautiful trading day ahead. Thank you all for coming.